Welcome to the Lead at Work podcast, where every episode is about learning how to develop our skills as leaders in our workplace and keep a healthy work-life balance. Here are your hosts, Shawn Franco and Tim Joyce.
Welcome, everybody, as we're back at Lead at Work. I'm with TJ, and I'm Shawn, and we're glad that you're with us as we talk about why you want to lead at work. It's the only way you should go to work. And today, we're going to start breaking down this idea of what real influence, real leadership at work is, despite your title, despite your position, the way that your character, your competency, and your compassion make you someone of influence. We don't want to be victims at work. We want to be people that contribute and make the place better. We've talked before, TJ, there are plenty of complainers in the world, right? And you're not helping anybody by complaining at work. And we're kind of offering you the choice. When we say lead at work, we're saying choose to lead at work, not just lament work. We got plenty of people who lament and are woe is me. We want you to be someone who says, I'm going to lead. And that really boils down to character in the beginning. I mean, this first characteristic of what influence, how it happens, is this issue of character and about choosing to be someone. We're not talking about being perfect. We're not talking being better than somebody else. We're talking about the choices we make inside. And those choices we make inside, our coworkers are seeing, our boss is seeing, our customers are feeling. And if we will choose someone to be of good character, if we'll start today saying that we're going to be someone with character at work, TJ, you and I, we're grappling back and forth. There's so much to talk about here, but how do we offer some thoughts about what good character looks like, feels like, why it's so important? What are some of your opening thoughts on this topic?
Well, one of the things you've talked about before, Shawn, is leadership is not a position or a title.
Yeah.
Leadership comes from within.
Right.
Somebody once said, lead where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
So many times in leadership, you will see something that maybe needs to be done, could be done better, or you would like for it to be done a certain way. And it kind of rises up in you or rises up against in somebody else to say, we need to go do this. That influence helps people to get there. The point that got us to this is, so what's influence? That character. Right. So when you ask the question, what is the character of somebody that causes influence to move to a place of doing something better? The list could be huge. Yeah. Right? But we all know, number one, and I mean, if you want to break it down, is honesty. Yeah. Trustworthy. Is somebody, when they say something, you know they're honest and telling the truth. Your mind immediately goes to, okay, well, they're dependable. Yeah. They're going to go, you have a statement from Andy Stanley, something about that dependency or that constancy of it.
Yeah, Andy talks about mind the gap. The idea of when what you do is not what you say, and there's a gap, own it. Yeah. Mind it, own it, share it with those around you so they're not left thinking, oh, he didn't even follow up. Does he even realize that he said this and he didn't, that she promised to do this and it didn't come out that way? We've got to be people that own the gaps in our performance. Again, not because we're perfect. As we're talking about this issue of character, there's so many stories I'm trying to figure out about telling about my experience, but I tell you what, as a boss, I see this one all the time. When I've got an employee that recognizes the gap and I don't have to tell them, they tell me, they just increased my trust level in them, just went up 1,000 points because they identify the gap. They're the one seeing it. I don't have to be looking over their shoulder. They're the one telling me, hey, I said I was going to do this. I'm running a little late. This new project came up. That's why this isn't here. I'm fine with it. But the issue of them owning their gap, about owning what I say is what I'm going to do. When I make a promise, when I talk about a deadline, I either meet it or I communicate about not meeting it.
So let's take that another step, a little further. Think about it when you have a gap. So at the YMCA, one of our great leaders used to say, when your audio doesn't match your video, you got an issue.
That's good.
All right. We have a different way of putting
That's
things,
really
right?
good.
All right, but it's the same thing, your audio
so
and your
true.
video, okay? But to recognize it in yourself, that's huge self-awareness.
Yes.
Now you step into another characteristic of your character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's being vulnerable and humble.
Yeah.
A humility to go, wow, I blew this. Okay, then that right there gets into another one that's it's a big trigger for me, is grace and forgiveness. Are you that kind of a person that can offer grace and forgiveness to somebody when they make a mistake, mainly because you're looking for that same grace and forgiveness when you make a mistake? And if you haven't made one yet, just give yourself time. It's coming, right? How many have I made there? But all of these are pieces that make up a word that we've used, integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity is a wholeness. It is a soundness. It is a completeness that when you think of somebody and you think of their character, this is who you think of. And let me just put you on the spot. Who you are, a huge character trait, not all of them, because I haven't talked to Sarah, your wife, but a huge character trait of you is the way that you humbly receive the Spirit of God as you lead your organization, as you try to lead the body of the church.
Appreciate that.
Not everybody does that, but that is something that I have picked up in you that has influence on me, so that when you say, hey, we got this need here that we need to consider doing this, will you pray over it? I will pray over it because of the constancy of who you are that influences me.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And first of all, it's like, if you haven't made a mistake, just wait. If you haven't made this mistake, you're in total denial. Okay. I'm not even sure why you're listening to anybody. You have no reality.
You know what denial is?
Yeah.
Don't even know I am lying.
Oh, okay.
Denial.
There's a new one.
There it is.
Acronym heaven. Welcome to it. And so this idea of owning the gap, and then what you just did for me, I think is a big part of character. It's appreciation. I can't, this is probably my soapbox, but who needs to hire another complainer? I mean, now I am not saying ignore what's wrong. I'm not saying don't be critical and understanding what excellence looks like. But I'm just telling you what, it's amazing. Someone with the character of gratefulness that recognizes what is right. How are we ever going to address what's wrong if we don't look at what's right and celebrate it?
I want to jump in on you. So we just got back from a fabulous restaurant, Chicken Fiesta. We're getting no kickback. They're not sponsoring this anyway, but we will accept gratuities.
I'm hoping I'll get extra yellow sauce.
You never know.
This. Yeah.
And this young lady was there. So it was only the second time I've been there. And this young lady was there and exhibited tremendous character that to me is a reflection upon her organization.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what to order, as Shawn knows. And she took the time to educate me about the difference between a side order and a platter and a combo, which most people understand. I'm still figuring it out because it's unbelievable up there. She did not humiliate me. She did not make me feel dumb. She did not, oh my gosh, you're taking my time. Come on, you're a bother. She treated me with respect.
Big.
And she smiled. She was given a gift from God, this incredible smile. She even took the time, I'm not sure if you heard, when I was leaving, she even said, hey, thank you for coming, come back.
Yeah.
Those little things right there, when I was still working, I would have given her my business card and said, I will hire you anytime you're tired of doing this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her character, she led from those with her along that front line. Yeah. But imagine what she was doing for lifting the whole restaurant up, just in being who she was, being constant and consistent in the ethos of her integrity and just where she was.
Yeah, we mentioned the issue of ownership. We mentioned the issue of appreciation, having gratitude. You've kind of highlighted this issue of thoughtfulness and respect of people. How many people, busyness is a character issue. It's a character issue that I don't know how to stop and see the people around me. I don't know how to say thank you, see how they're doing. Look, when you exhibit those kind of character traits, you are going to make a difference. You're going to be a leader at work. I always tell when I was youth pastor for 11 years, and I always tell students, you got to be different to make a difference. And I don't know where we ever got the thought that I can be like everybody else and make a difference. And really, the challenge coming to you today is to be someone who's different, to have different character, to be filled with gratitude and say thank you. I can't tell you how many times in the middle of workplaces, whether as the boss or just as one of the team members, when someone took the time to say thank you or say, hey, that's great. I really appreciate how you did that. It just changes the atmosphere and it makes a teamwork better. This issue of thoughtfulness, this issue of respect and value. TJ, I think the number one enemy towards good character in a very practical way is just old tiredness. I think people use, I'm tired, I'm at work, I was tired, I came in, I was tired, it's been a long day, I'm tired, it's been a long weekend, I'm tired. It's like, look, I'm not saying you're not tired, but I think when we get into a rhythm and a pattern and an attitude of kind of giving ourselves a pass on good character because we're tired, I think we're not living up to our potential. And I think we're missing the great things we can accomplish. And so that would kind of be my other big passion in the workplace is you're going to have to decide, regardless of being tired or not, who you're going to be.
Question.
Yes.
You just got back from a mission trip with a huge ministry that's going on in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Flying 17 hours, I think. You just got back last weekend.
Yeah.
Are you tired?
Absolutely.
Okay. That tiredness, though, was of a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Some people use busyness and tiredness as an excuse for a get out of jail card.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I've often heard said is the consistency or the constancy of one's character, regardless of the situation, the way you show up. If it's a good day, if a crisis hits, if somebody says something bad, if you're dealing with an irate customer or whatever, you show up the same way. You're calm, you're centered because you know who you are, you know your character, though you might be tired. And though you're exactly right. When I get tired, I get a little ornery sometimes. Yeah. But that's the time where we lean back more into understanding who we are and what it is that is our key. Even when you're tired, can you still tell the truth?
Yeah.
Even when you're tired, can you still bestow respect?
Yeah.
Even when you're tired, can you still be dependable? Yeah. Just start on those three. We can deal with the other 3,000 characteristics later.
Yeah.
But that tiredness is a very good piece that, to me, many times people use it as an excuse.
So true.
To why, I was just tired. That's why I snapped. That's why I did that. Wait a minute. Your character is something that you build over your lifetime. It's formed and it's developed. It's lost in a moment. Yeah. Right? And we've seen that happen all too many times in leaders or in individuals. Yeah. To me, that's where a huge, huge personal trigger of character is grace and forgiveness. It's something I hold myself to, that I'm not perfect, that I blow. But when it's bestowed to me, do you not think that's incredible influence upon my soul? Yeah. Yeah, I've got a great story on that, and we'll kind of use it to start moving to the wrap up. First of all, I would say even I one time with work for a while, I put on an index card, who I am is more important than what I do. I just put it, and I was in the cubicle. I mean, I was a marketing writer at Computer Associates International, and I had a lot of personalities and a lot of interesting things going on. But I put that down. Who I am is more important than what I do. And it was a reminder that I wasn't my identity and worth weren't going to rise and fall and how well everybody else received what I did. But it was also a reminder to remember who I am, to remember how I act towards people while I'm at work. Who I am is more important than what I do. And maybe you need that reminder in your workplace. And just like, hey, right now, it's important who I am and what I'm doing. I'm going to give a shout out to a leader in our community, Debbie Bailey. She's on the school board of Chesterfield County, and she was my son's 6th or 7th grade history teacher, social studies teacher. And I remember one time I was not exhibiting great character. I was kind of a frustrated parent, and I wrote her an email complaining about the infamous
the infamous group project where 3 kids don't do the job and my kid gets the bad grade. Oh, I hate group projects, right? It's a good thing all of life is in a group project, right, TJ? And so I was constructive, but I clearly said I wasn't happy. And here's Debbie, who probably has a million things going on and probably was like, really? And I remember she sent me back the best email. I was so impressed with her response. She exhibited empathy and understanding. She was gracious. She talked about her as a parent and what she wanted. And she even offered like, hey, we could talk some more. And one, it humbled me a little bit because like, oh, my attitude wasn't great. Like I wish I would have went in the way she went in. But the other thing was she automatically got credit in my book. And when she was talking about like running for school board, I was like, Debbie, you should do it. You know, why? Because I was like, I know her integrity. I know her character. When someone doesn't treat her well, how she responds, because she had done it for me. And so Debbie, if you're out there, I think you're awesome. And I think that's what our workplaces need. That's what our customers need. And I just think as we're kind of wrapping up this call of character, TJ, I think, man, your workplace is hungry for someone with some good character. Be that person, and you'll be a leader at work.
And as I listen to you and summing it up, it's not so much listing off all the attributes, because we can keep going. You just listed about 5 more of Debbie, okay? It is about that consistency of being who you are consistently in all things, which is so tough to do. It's not a position, it's not a title, it's who you are, where you stand at the moment, and consistently being who you are. Foundationally to it, we believe trust is one of those pillars, because without trust, there's no relationship. So you got to have that. The people beside you trust you because you consistently show up. And these other peace, grace, forgiveness, You spoke about Debbie, how she treated you in terms of just the kindness and the way she did it. So then when she got ready for bigger things,
I was like,
you had a trust of her because you saw her in this. Almost, hey, you've been good with a few things. Now you have more. I can believe in you in that. That's maybe I'm making a quantum leap on you, but as I listened, I just kind of pull all that together. That is the nugget. Don't worry about the 30 attributes. It's the consistency, being trustworthy of who you are in all situations.
So good. Yeah. Who you are is more important than what you do. Who you are is more important than the title you have. Who you are is more important than the money you make. And may you be someone who decides today to grow in character. Simple as owning a gap, saying thank you, expressing appreciation, being gracious with somebody, being of a different spirit than those around you, having the character, being different to make a difference. We hope you'll stay on the journey with us, as in the upcoming episodes, we're going to be looking at competency as well as compassion, and then a host of other lead at work topics. So TJ, thanks. This has been great. And if you are with us for the first time, you can hit subscribe, find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and we'll look forward to you leading at work as we do it together on the next episode.